Hey, Vikings faithful. Merry Christmas from one diehard Minnesota Vikings fan to another. Can you believe it? Today, on this festive December 25th, 2025, our Purple Warriors are set to clash with the Detroit Lions right here at US Bank Stadium in a Week 17 showdown that's got the whole NFC North buzzing. As a passionate supporter who's bled purple through thick and thin, I'm pumped to dive into this Minnesota Vikings news update with you. Picture this. Snowflakes falling outside, holiday lights twinkling, and inside the dome, it's a winter whiteout extravaganza where we're all decked out in white to create that intimidating sea of support. The Vikings, sitting at 7-8, might be out of playoff contention, but we've got fire in our bellies after 3 straight wins that snapped a nasty skid. And the Lions? At 8-7, they're clawing for a postseason spot, needing to win out while hoping Green Bay stumbles against Baltimore and then us in Week 18. What makes this game electric? It's not just the holiday vibes or Snoop Dogg headlining halftime on Netflix. It's the raw rivalry and the chance for our young squad to spoil Detroit's dreams. Stick with me as we break it down scene by scene, building the suspense like a thriller. Who's ready to skol? Let's jump in and talk about why this could be the upset of the season. First off, let's set the stage for where both teams stand in this wild 2025 NFL season. The Minnesota Vikings have turned heads with their recent surge, winning 3 in a row against NFC East foes. A dominant 31-0 shutout over the Washington Commanders, a gritty 34-26 takedown of the Dallas Cowboys, and a nail-biter 16-13 victory against the New York Giants. These wins have injected life into our fan base, proving that even eliminated from playoffs, the Vikings play with pride and passion. On the flip side, the Detroit Lions are teetering on the edge. After a strong start, they've dropped 2 straight for the first time since 2022, including a heartbreaking 29-24 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers where they were stopped at the goal line. Jared Goff lit it up with 364 yards and 3 touchdowns, but their run game was non-existent at just 15 yards, while giving up 230 on the ground, including 143 and 2 scores from Jaylen Warren. This contrast sets up a classic underdog story for us Vikings fans. With our defense stepping up and the home crowd roaring, could this be the game where we flip the script? What do you think? Will our momentum carry us to a holiday miracle? Drop your predictions in the comments below. Now let's talk quarterback drama, because that's where the suspense really builds for Minnesota Vikings news today. Our starter, J.J. McCarthy, suffered a hairline fracture in his throwing hand during last week's win over the Giants, and the latest update confirms he's out for this Christmas clash. It's a tough blow for the young gun who's shown flashes of brilliance this season, tossing 11 touchdowns in 9 games, but injuries have sidelined him for 7 already. Stepping into the spotlight is undrafted rookie Max Brosmer, making his 2nd start of the year. In his debut against the Seattle Seahawks on November 30th, things got rough. He threw 4 interceptions in a 26-0 shutout loss, a learning curve that's got everyone on edge. But Brosmer's been talking about keeping a chill approach, and with more prep time, he could surprise us all in this winter whiteout atmosphere. Imagine the tension. A rookie under the bright lights of a holiday game, facing a desperate Lions team. Vikings fans, are you nervous or excited for Brosmer's redemption shot? How do you see him handling the pressure? Let's hear your takes as we build toward kickoff. Shifting to roster updates, because every detail counts in Minnesota Vikings news. Beyond McCarthy, we've got some moves. The Vikings placed center Ryan Kelly on injured reserve after his injury against the Giants, and signed Henry Bird to bolster the line. Plus, running back Ty Chandler has been activated from IR, which could add some spark to our ground game that's been inconsistent. On the positive side, quarterback Brett Rippon is back after a waiver claim, providing depth behind Brosmer. These adjustments show the front office isn't mailing it in. They're fighting for every yard, even in a non-playoff year. It's all about building for 2026 while giving fans something to cheer about today. This roster shuffle adds layers to the intrigue. Will the O-line hold up without Kelly? Can Chandler break loose? Fellow fans, what's your biggest concern heading into this matchup? Share in the comments and let's discuss how these changes might swing the game. Let's rewind to the first meeting this season, because that fuels the fire for today's rematch. Back on November 2nd at Ford Field, the Minnesota Vikings edged out the Lions 27-24 in a thriller that snapped Detroit's 5-game win streak in the series. Our defense made key stops, and the offense clicked just enough to seal the deal. That victory was part of an 8-game Vikings dominance from 2017 to 2021, reminding us of our historical edge. Overall, Minnesota holds an 81-45-2 lead in the all-time series, a stat that gives us bragging rights no matter the records. But with the Lions hungry for revenge, this could be a back-and-forth battle. The suspense? Detroit's been tough, but we've got their number lately. Vikings Nation, do you remember that November win fondly? What plays stood out, and how do you think it'll influence today? Let's relive it together. Diving into holiday history because Christmas games. Add that extra magic to Minnesota Vikings news. The Vikings have played 4 times on December 25th, with our lone win coming in 2005 against the Baltimore Ravens. We lost in the 1971 NFC Divisional Playoffs to the Cowboys, and most recently got blown out 52-33 by the New Orleans Saints in 2020. Each of these games has been memorable for the festive atmosphere and high stakes. Playing at home this time with the winter whiteout crowd could tilt the odds in our favor. It's rare air, only our 5th Christmas game ever. Building the anticipation. Will we add another win to the holiday ledger? Fans, what's your favorite Vikings memory on a special day like this? Comment below and let's get hyped for making new ones today. For the Lions, Christmas hasn't been kind, adding to the drama. Detroit has only played twice on December 25th, losing both 27-20 to the Miami Dolphins in 1994 and 17-7 to the Denver Broncos in 1999 at the old Pontiac Silverdome. They're known for Thanksgiving, but this holiday, not so much. That inexperience could play into our hands, especially with the home field advantage. As they chase playoffs, the pressure's on them to break the curse. But we're the spoilers, ready to dash their hopes. The question hangs. Can the Lions shake off their Christmas ghosts? Or will the Vikings deliver the coal? What do you predict, Purple Army? Engage with me in the comments. Now, practical stuff, how to catch this Minnesota Vikings news in action. The game kicks off at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time today, December 25th, right here at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. If you're watching on cable, tune into CBS locally for all the coverage. For streaming, fans can catch it on Netflix or NFL Plus, making it easy to watch from anywhere during the holidays. Don't miss Snoop Dogg's halftime show. It's going to be epic. With so many ways to tune in, there's no excuse to miss out. Vikings fans, where are you watching from? Home with family or streaming on the go? Let me know and let's connect over the game. Predictions time, because that's where the excitement peaks in Minnesota Vikings news. The Lions are favored by 7.5 points, reflecting their playoff push and our QB switch. Experts are leaning Detroit, but underdogs thrive on holidays, right? Remember, we've won 3 straight, and with Brosmer looking for redemption, anything's possible. Stats show our defense has been stout, holding opponents under 20 points in those wins. The cliffhanger. Will we cover the spread or pull the upset? What's your score prediction? Drop it below and let's see who's spot on. Looking ahead for the Lions, because their path affects the NFC picture. After today, Detroit wraps up with Week 18 at the Chicago Bears. Time TBD. They need to win both and hope Green Bay loses to Baltimore and then us. That's a tall order, especially if we play spoiler today. Keeps the division drama alive, even if we're out. Fans, do you want to see the Lions miss playoffs? Or root for NFC North strength? Share your thoughts. As we build to kickoff, let's talk about what this means for Minnesota Vikings news in 2026. With young talent like McCarthy healing up and Brosmer gaining experience, plus roster tweaks, the future's bright. Today's game is a test of grit. The winter whiteout will be electric. Fans in white, noise deafening, Snoop pumping up the halftime. It's more than a game. It's a holiday tradition in the making. Are you geared up in purple or white? What's your game day ritual? Tell me in the comments. Suspense is at its height. Brosmer under center, Lions desperate, Vikings hungry to end strong. Every play could swing momentum in this rivalry clash. Imagine the roars if we force a turnover or Brosmer connects deep. It's the stuff of Vikings legends. What moment are you most anticipating? Let's hype each other up. Wrapping up this Minnesota Vikings news update, remember why we love this team. Resilience, passion, and that Skol chant that unites us. No matter the outcome, we're in this together. Thanks for joining me, fellow fans. Now, hit that like button if you're excited, comment your thoughts, subscribe for more Vikings content, and share with your crew. Merry Christmas, and Skol Vikings. But wait, there's more to the build-up. Let's circle back to our defense because they've been the unsung heroes. In those 3 wins, they blanked the Commanders, harassed Dak Prescott, and stonewalled the Giants. Stats like 10 sacks and 5 interceptions show they're peaking at the right time. Against the Lions' potent offense, it'll be key. Can they contain Goff and limit the run after Pittsburgh gashed them? The tension mounts. Our D versus their O. Vikings fans, who's your defensive MVP so far? Weigh in. Offensively, without McCarthy, it's on Brosmer and the playmakers. Expect heavy doses of the run with Chandler back, and targets to our receivers who've stepped up. Brosmer's chill vibe could steady the ship, but avoiding those picks is crucial. It's a high-stakes audition. What advice would you give Brosmer? Share below and let's support our rookie. Finally, as the clock ticks to 4:30, feel the energy. This Christmas Day battle is Minnesota Vikings news at its finest. Rivalry, history, holiday cheer. We've covered the ins and outs, from injuries to predictions. Now it's game time. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's grow this Vikings community. Skol forever.